What's up, guys? Back with another video. It's 46 degrees outside today. That's crazy. Alexa, turn on the dining room light. I'm about to make some coffee. I'm about to get some coffee and I'm about to go in the garage and look at the 993. Man, I want to drive it so bad. I was thinking, should I put the tag from my 992 on it and drive it? No, I can't do that. I was thinking if somebody looked it up while I was driving, they would just see black 911. And if they didn't know Porsches, they might be like, ah, that's the right car. But a real Porsche head would be like, that's kind of odd. He put a 992 license plate on a 993. I'm making my son breakfast. Is this a weak breakfast? I don't know. It's kind of a lazy breakfast. I just throw this on here. I throw a little syrup. I'm like, all right, dude, we're good to go. We're dialed in. So you know what I like to do in my life? This is just the way I am. I like to give when I get. And I like to give when I feel like I'm hurting. Like when the business isn't doing good, or like I feel like I spent all that money on the car, so I'm kind of stressed out about money. It's weird. I don't know why I do it, but I do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to donate, because I know we're going to hit 3,000 subscribers. I'm going to donate $3,000 to St. Jude today. So I'm going to do that today. I'm going to do it like a little bit later when I'm on my computer, and I'll throw it up on the screen. All right, guys, we got the 992 sitting pretty backed in today. Looks a little bit more vicious. And then I'm about to go check out the 993. But guess what we got to do? We got to go to the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles. We got to go get a temporary tag so we can bring the car up there so they can do the odometer verification, because it's from out of state. And then we can get the real tag. But the temp tag, it's good. You're good for 10 days. Go to the new school. We are live in the 992. Man, oh man. First, I got to get gas. I've got 12 miles left, and I need to put air in all the tires. I've got 30 in the front and 35 in both rears. But I got to say, sometimes you just got to do something to reignite your spirit. I was trying to think what I was going to talk about, and to be dead honest, I have no clue what I'm going to talk about. But that just came into my mind just now. I was thinking, man, I feel like a reignition of my spirit from that car. You know what it is? It's a motivator. Remember I talked about going back to broke? It motivates me. It's like the second I get it, I just want to tuck it away in the garage. I have a little bit of a worried feeling, like, what did I do? I got to pay for this new insurance. I got this car. I got all this stuff. But it makes me go back to the drawing board. It kind of like reignites the fire, that feeling of, I'm under the gun. I'm behind the 8 ball. I got to step it up and get dialed in. You know what I mean? I like it. I can't describe it. If you guys understand what I'm talking about. Like, I'm not supposed to have that car. You know what I mean? But then I started thinking to myself, go with your gut. You got to go with your gut sometimes. Like, your subconscious mind is telling you. Sometimes you just know that little voice inside your head. I think it's our subconscious mind, our conscience. It's telling us, just do it. Sometimes it tells us to just do it, and it's not the right thing, though. But like when I was bidding on the car, you know, in the moment I was just like, I just had that feeling, like, just do it. And now now I have it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, I'm so glad I did it. I really am. I'm not an advocate for going out and buying expensive things. I'm just saying that I didn't use debt, and I generated the money from investments. I know that I didn't add any concrete to my solid foundation, but I didn't really chip it away all that much. You know what I mean? I didn't set myself back. I just kind of slowed down my progress. But it all depends on what you want in your life. You know what I mean? For me, like, I have like a dream in my mind of what I picture of my setup. What would be a dream setup, you know? Like, you know, my home, my family, and maybe like a 911. My dream originally was just this car paid for, my house, I'm good. My family, you know what I mean? Health. But now that I have this 993 C2S, the dream is expanding in my mind. It's expanding. And what it's doing is making me expand and think bigger. You know what I mean? But the reason I can expand on this dream of like 911s is because I feel like I have in my mind, you want to know my foundational thing? This is what it is in my head. As long as I don't go below $1 million in my investment account, like as long as I don't go below that, in my mind, this is kind of a dumb way to think, but in my mind, I think like I can use a little off the top to get these things as long as I pay cash for them and they're not setting me back. As long as I don't let that account go below $1 million, for me at my age, I feel like I'm going to be okay. As long as my business is still working, and do you know what I mean? I'm going to be fine. We're going to be fine in the long run. I've saved money for like my child's college funds if they wanted to go to college. College might not even exist by the time they get out of school. I'm joking, it will, but you get what I'm saying. I don't have college funds for all of them. I have college funds for 2, and I'm about to have 4 kids. 1 is on the way. But 520, if you guys have children and you did want to set something up like that, you can open up what's called a 529 account, and the money grows basically tax-free as long as it's used for school, books, or housing related to school or education. It could be any type of education. I don't think it has to be college. It's tax-free. So I have 529s for 2 kids, but the interesting thing about a 529 is that the money passes through to the next kid. So if one kid doesn't use it, or doesn't use all of it, or it grows really to become a lot and uses part of it, the next amount goes to the next kid. So if I have 2 kids, I'm kind of thinking it'll trickle down to the other kids as it grows. But if you get it started early, the power of compounding can really generate a decent amount of money. And with the rate of inflation, education is getting more and more expensive. I didn't go to traditional school, you know. I went to the school of hard knocks. I went to the school of getting kicked out of middle school and having to go to a different town on a short bus. I actually did. I went to the school of getting in lots of trouble and being told I was a bad kid and I'd never amount to anything. But if you use that weakness as your superpower, get dialed in, they don't know you're going to become the Carrera kid. I'm getting delusional now. I got to get gas, and I might actually get a monster. A celebratory monster. Oh, well, that sucks. Forgot my wallet. Huh. What am I going to do now? We got 10 miles left. I'm kind of confused because I'm like thinking, where in the world did I put my wallet? Where did I put it? Let me check the frunk. Oh, you know what? I got my digital card on my phone. I got my digital card on my phone, but I don't think I'll be able to get cash or money to use the vacuum. No wallet. I got my gym bag with my headphones. They're dead, so I got to charge those. Man, you know what I want to invent? I want to invent a shoe cleaner for car people. Like a little device, like inside your, like comes out of the car, like cleans your shoes before you put them in the car. And that would look weird. Let's look back at the 911. Man, I'm excited today because I just want to get that 993 out. Man, oh man. What are we getting? Grab some Mike's Hard Lemonade. Hit the streets. I was never into those. I don't really drink. I used to drink beers. If I was drinking beers, what would I... If I was drinking beers, see, I was drinking these kind of beers. I was drinking like IPAs. But dude, I feel like this is a trick. It's a curse. It's a lie. So's this, but it's a little better. But this will set you back so far. If you guys are young, don't even drink, dude. Just leave it alone. Freaking get dialed in. Focus on stacking cash. Dude, I need some futuristic techie glasses. Like I'm in Runner or whatever that movie is, driving the 993. I don't know what movie I'm thinking about, but you know what I mean. Like I'm in the future, but I'm in an old school car. Should I get those? All right, the digital card on my phone worked, so we can get gas. I got 50 on 6. He told me that this air thing over here might take a card. That would be awesome if it took the kind you can scan, and I could use my phone and get the air right. I want to get the air right. I want to get the tag on the 993, and then I want to get the dents fixed on this. I want to get the dents fixed, and I want to get the front axle lift fixed. I want to get everything dialed in. That's what I'm saying. I just reignited some kind of fire in myself, where I want to get things back to where they're all. I don't know why I keep using the term dialed in, but it just fits. Where everything's just dialed in. Well, this thing's pumping. Let's go over here and see if this thing takes a card. You know, you guys were like, oh, we got to get some dialed in merch. You want to know what I did this morning? I filed the trademark for dialed in. I did, actually. Let's see, does it take a scanner? It does. We are back in action, baby. Let's go. Look at the spaceship. Looks like a spaceship. Star Wars. What do they call those things that they used to, speeders or something? My son was into Star Wars. You know how like Luke Skywalker rode one? We got our speeder. The light bar on the back. We got our speeder with the lightsaber on the back. The lightsaber. Man, put that on the license plate. Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader. Depends what side do you want to be on. You want to be on the light or the dark? I operate in the light. I use the dark. I use the dark to create light in my life, if that makes sense. Like Ray Lewis said, you got to turn your pain into hope and glory. All right, we got gas. One step in the right direction. Now all we need to do is get some air in the tires, and then we can get back on the road. And I'm doing my wife's workout again today. I'm losing weight. I'm telling you, I'm losing weight. I was actually about to throw myself up on the screen. I was going to film myself with my shirt off, and then I thought, and then I got too self-conscious. I thought, what am I doing, dude? I am really putting myself out there. I thought, what am I doing? Like, what up, guys? Back with another video. Say hello to my body. I start losing subs. They just start dropping like flies. All right, let's see if we can get these tires pumped up. Hope there's a gauge on it. Oh, there is. Oh, perfect. 35. That's what we want in the front. Come on. Give us some air. Authorizing. Come on. Give me some air. Let's go. Is it going to start? I think it charged me. Yeah, I think the thing's live. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're back in action. Check out the yellow brake calipers up close and personal. Let's see what we got. It's loading on the screen. What do we got? I hear it working. It's thinking. It's measuring. We're dialed in on the right side. Now let's dial in the left. Dude, somebody dropped their credit card. I'm not showing the credit card number, but I'm gonna go bring it in there. I can't believe it's right here. I'm looking right at it. The guy's gonna be freaking out. And then if we go bring it inside, dude, that'd be awesome, right? I'm like, what are the chances I'd be sitting right here looking right at it? You know what I mean, on the ground? We're dialed in on the left, baby. I'm gonna set the rear to 40. Dial in the rear. Thing will reach. Come on. Let's go. We need to hear that buzzer. Check out the Porsche brake caliper. Isn't it nice looking? I love the yellow. Look how clean it is. That's why I like the carbon ceramics. I want them all day long. Look how clean even just the caliper is. And I don't wash or anything. Like, there's just no dust. Dude, this thing was low. Oh yeah, live and direct. I can't find the cap. I gotta hurry up and do the other side before the thing shuts off. Then I'll find the cap. These people are like, why is this guy screaming out here? Because I reignited my fire. The Carrera Kid is back in action, baby. You guys have no idea. I was actually in a little slump. That's why I made that video. I was saying I was in the dip. There's a book called The Dip. I was in the dip. It's like right before you like start to achieve something, you start to get burnt out, and you start to kind of like feel like you're gonna give up. That's why I was talking about that story, 3 feet from gold. But this just reignited my fire. Look at the tech art piece, how it's up close on the body on this side. On the other side of the car, it's sticking out. I gotta get that fixed. Oh yeah, we're dialed. BMW hybrid. All right, let's go give this card to these people. Oh, I gotta find my cap real quick. What did I do with that cap? You know how you take a cap off and you just can't find it? All right, I found it. But yeah, you go through these little slumps, you know. Have you guys ever seen the Dunkin' Donuts? I shouldn't even be talking, I'm about to drink a Monster. But have you ever seen the Dunkin' Donuts Instagram videos where the guy shows like how much sugar's in one of the Dunkin' Donuts drinks? I can't even talk, I'm about to drink this Monster, but it's crazy. It's more than the Monster. It's like 30 of these donuts. Dude, oh my gosh, talk about getting dialed in. Oh my gosh. Whoopie pie. What is going on? Hey, somebody dropped their credit card on the ground out there. I'll just leave it. Yeah, no problem. Have a good one. You know, I was just thinking I should have got the guy's name off the card. Maybe I could have found him on Instagram and DM'd him. But the card said something about the Venetian. It was a business card. So I don't know if it was a personal card or a card for a business. But we dropped it off. Now we're going back to the 911. Now I feel like she's gonna feel a lot nicer. We got gas, we got air in our tires. We need to get this fixed, this Tech Art kit. You see how on the other side it was close to the body? I think there's like a piece, there's something in there. Yeah, see how it needs to go like that? It's almost like it's bent out. You can't tell, but she ain't perfect, but it's honest work. Go. Let's pop the cup holder in. So I know a lot of you guys watching already invest, but even though I keep talking about it, I've said it like a lot of times in the videos, maybe I'm not saying it enough in the beginning of the video, because a lot of guys are writing like, where do I start? I still get that a lot. So if any of you guys want to start a YouTube channel showing young men the basics of where to invest and how to invest. And I guarantee it'd be a successful channel, because just the trend I'm noticing is that that's the problem and you can provide the solution. So if you guys are young or even older and you want to start investing and you're like, I do not know where to go and what to do. You know, I never like recommend Robinhood because I never used Robinhood. I always just thought of it as an app. But when I Googled like best brokerage, literally Robinhood popped up. I was surprised, because now they have like a 4% yielding savings account and other stuff. So you can always start on Robinhood because you can buy crypto and stocks on one platform. But for me personally, I like to use the platform connected to my bank. So whether you have Bank of America, you can use Fidelity, or if you, not Fidelity, Merrill Edge, or you could use like, you don't have to use one connected to your bank, but you can use, a lot of people use Fidelity for investing. It's a really good one. So what you would do is you would just go on there, and then the very first thing you would do is, if you make less than, I think it's like $130,000 a year. You have to look it up, but there's an income threshold where you don't get the benefit of the Roth IRA. A Roth IRA is an account that you're going to invest inside of. A lot of times people are like, am I investing? Am I buying a Roth IRA? They don't understand what I'm talking about. The Roth IRA is the type of account. It's like the basket you're going to put the stocks in. There's a taxable account. That's just a regular individual account or a joint account. And that's the basket that's going to hold the stocks. Like that's going to hold Apple and Nvidia. It's going to be inside of that. So it's like the structure of how your investments are taxed depending on what basket you put it in. So when you're young, and if you're making less than the max income to open a Roth IRA, that's the first basket you want. You want the Roth IRA basket. And you can only put up to $7,000 a year in there. But if you hurry up and you have money in the bank, you could put $7,000 for 2024 right now, and you could put $7,000 for 2025, and you'll have $14,000 in there. And guess what? When you go to take it out, the benefit of the Roth IRA is that when you sell the stocks, you don't pay tax. You don't pay tax on any of the gains. So that's a very powerful thing. And then the other basket is there's a traditional IRA. So you can only max out one or the other, like in the same year. So the traditional IRA, when you put money in, it's going to deduct it from the taxes you owe that year. So if you, for example, you made $10,000 in income and you put $7,000 in a traditional IRA, you're only going to pay tax on $3,000 that year. But when you sell the shares and the stocks later on in life, you're going to have to pay tax on the money that you invested. So the tax is like deferred until the future. Look how they're putting the walls up. They're building a storage the storage unit place. This guy's probably like, oh, great. Look, he's got his old one. Oh, great. That's what they did up here. Gas station, or car wash, and then they built another car wash. Those are people looking for yield. They want storage units, rental properties, car washes, passive income. That's why you always see them popping up everywhere. Storage places, car washes, because they're passive income. That's what these investors are trying to figure out. How can they just get passive income? So another benefit of the Roth that a lot of people don't talk about is that once you invest the money in the Roth, if you withdraw it early, here's the thing about the Roth. You can't withdraw the money, okay, until you're like 60 something and a half, 65 and a half, or 62 and a half, 59 and a half. I can't remember that exact time. This is where I got the windows tinted on the Volvo. This guy did a good job. Shout out to Turbo Tint. He actually did a really good job. He's from California. They did it so quick, I just rolled up. The Roth IRA, once you put the money in, you can't take, that's money, that's your foundational. When I'm old, I'm gonna have retirement. By maxing out the $7,000 every single year, when you're old, you're gonna have a retirement account. That's what the Roth is. It's not to make some extra money to get wealthy in the short term. It's for the old-timey money when you're old, because you can't take it out. But this is what people don't talk about. You can take out what you put in. You just can't take out any gains that you made. So if you contributed $7,000 and you're like, I need my money, you could take $5,000 out. A shopping cart and a beer. Last time I was out here, I said I hope a crackhead don't jump out of the woods and bite me in the neck. So you can take out the amount you put in originally. Do you get what I'm saying? But you can't take out any gains without being penalized. And I think the penalty is just like, I can't remember. It's the same penalty you get if you take money out of your 401k early. You know how at your work, like you can't take money out of your 401k? I'm not a huge fan of 401ks because I don't like fees. I'm not a fan of money managers. I'm not a fan of 401ks. I'm not a fan of, annuities can be pretty powerful, but I don't like the fees. But we can't open annuities if we're younger. If anyone's older, they could. But annuities are like, you lock your money up with this money manager. They basically guarantee you a certain percentage every year. And then depending on the type of annuity, you could get your money back. Or your next of kin can get your money when you pass away. So there's different things, But what I like is, I like low-cost, passive ETFs that mirror the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is pretty efficient. It's hard to beat it. And then the other thing I like is, I like taking like 10 to 20 to 30, depending on your age. If you're young, freaking go bold and do whatever you want. But I'm saying, I like to take a decent portion of my portfolio and I like to invest it in micro or small cap, a few companies that I believe in, I've researched, that are in a growth path, that have a possibility of 10xing, 100xing. Do you know what I mean? I do that with 10% of my portfolio, 20%, and that includes crypto. I look at crypto the same way. Bitcoin, I look at it, even though now you guys are seeing it as Bitcoin's beats the S&P 500. Bitcoin's ARR, annual rate of return, is 60% the last 5 years. Bitcoin's volatility is high, but it has a high return. The S&P's has a lower volatility, a lower return. Even though you guys look at Bitcoin like that now, I look at Bitcoin as you're just watching the formation of a new asset class, just like when gold ETFs were formed and there was a lot of volatility, there was high returns, but eventually as more money comes into the asset class and the asset class is formated, I don't know what I'm saying. You guys, I'm telling you, don't be listening to me out here. I'm in a parking lot with a shopping cart and a Yingling and a Monster. But when the asset class is formed, I don't know what word I was trying to say, the volatility decreases, but so does the returns, and it'll become a more boring asset class. Do you know what I mean? Like if the trust stays there and Bitcoin is what it is, I'm not talking about layer 2s being built on Bitcoin and businesses. I'm talking about Bitcoin as a store of value will probably over time, like, I don't know, maybe the next 20 years, who knows, will become a boring asset to have. You know what I mean? It probably won't have massive returns once money's already in there and it's like a store of value like gold. If that makes any sense. That's the way I see it. But in the short term, I'm like, I want to get in while this asset class is being formed. The entire crypto asset class is being formed. Think about, like, there's going to be Solana ETFs. That's pretty wild. XRP ETFs, Chainlink ETFs probably one day. Who knows? I like Chainlink. If you guys don't know what Chainlink is, so you know how I do e-commerce? I got to get back in the car, dude. It's like 30 degrees out here. My hands. I'm wearing a t-shirt. Shouldn't even be out here. So it's 48. Feels like it's like 30 for Floridians. But so what I'm getting at is, I'm saying that. Oh, I was saying Chainlink. I like Chainlink because I do e-commerce and I use APIs. So I think it's like application protocol interface or something. I can't remember what it stands for. But APIs is like how I connect Klaviyo to Shopify, or how Shopify and Facebook send conversion data to each other. So basically, like, I understood Chainlink very quickly when I was reading about it. So Chainlink is basically an API, just to sum it up in an easy way, is an API for Web 2 data to Web 3 data. So like Web 2 would be the protocol HTTPS, and Web 3 would be like blockchain. Well, and also for any kind of RWA, like a real world asset or real world information. So listen real quick, just hear me out. This is how I see crypto and stuff. This is why I kind of believe in these different projects. Like for me, I think Ethereum is going to be like a behemoth. Like I don't think people really truly understand what Ethereum and smart contracts are and how powerful it can be. The thing is that I'm already speculating in quantum. I have Ethereum, I have Bitcoin, I have Solana, I have Chainlink, I have Algorand, Avalanche, Cardano. Like I have these coins, Sui, Ondo, Finance. But these are all just speculation. You don't know what's going to be what. There's a new one all the time. So what I'm saying is, but projects like Ethereum and Chainlink, just hear me out. Chainlink is taking offline data and putting it on Web 3 for smart contracts. They do a lot of other things too. They're working with like Swift to create like the new Swift, basically. They're working with they do a lot of stuff. So Chainlink, just imagine this. There's a farmer in Africa. Ethereum could be an insurance company. Ethereum could be a title company. Ethereum could be a settlement company for car loans. Like, people don't understand. Like, I think Ethereum is going to be this monster one day, and no one's going to really truly understand when it all comes together. They're going to be like, what is this? And then they're going to realize, oh, I get it now. And for me, it's all about smart contracts. So smart contracts is basically like two inputs that have some type of a result based on information, but there's no third party. It's trustless. It happens on its own. It doesn't need to be verified by any human. There's no CEO involved. There's Debbie at the desk isn't verifying that you got your paperwork and signed your DocuSign. You get what I'm saying? So I'll give you a scenario. There's a farmer, an unbanked farmer in Africa, and he has a farm. And a couple times throughout the year, he gets no rain and he loses all his crops. Well, nobody's going to insure him. There's no insurance company there. There's nobody that would be able to verify his crops died because there was no rain. Do you know what I mean? There's an insurance adjuster maybe in some other town, in some other area, village, in some other area that works with a small portion of the people there that farm, but he has to come there and underwrite the policy, and then there's an insurance adjuster that comes and inspects when they have a claim or something. But if you had Ethereum, okay, with Chainlink would take offline data or Web 2 data like AccuWeather or any kind of information that tracks weather, rain, water, fall, like, I don't know all the terms. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. They would take all that information, okay, Chainlink would, and they would feed it to Ethereum. And Ethereum would have a smart contract with this farmer that when the rainfall is at a certain low level for a certain period of time, and the temperature's at a certain, it would have certain inputs that would determine when it pays out its claim. There would be no person involved. Ethereum would run the smart contract. Chainlink would feed all the data in, offline to Web3. There would be verification, and the claim would be paid out. Do you know what I mean? And it would be all automatic. But think of every type of industry that you could have a smart contract do something like that in. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could be, have you guys heard of crypto autos? Look up, I think it's crypto auto or crypto autos. But they're selling cars with cryptocurrency, but you can buy the car so quickly because there's no, the settlement is just instant. It's just instant settlement. So I just say, like, there's a lot of things that Ethereum and some of these other projects, we all think they're all just speculative and they're all just like some fringe thing. But these are real companies that are building the future of how we're going to operate in the world. It's just that I don't think a lot of people have wrapped their head around it yet. The thing is that I'm not going all in on Ethereum. I'm not going all in on Chainlink because we don't know. What if like Near Protocol is the one that has the best smart contract? There's so many we don't know, you know? So, but I like to have some. I'd rather have some than not have some. You know what I mean? Because I do see the future. It's going to be something. We just don't know what yet. It's like we had electricity. We didn't think of the laptop or a receptacle. You know what I mean? We didn't think of like the things that were on top. And those are the layer 2s. Ethereum's the layer 1, and then the layer 2s and the layer 3s. We don't know what's going to be what, you know? So, all right, guys, I think I'm going to hop off because I'm all over the place. The kid just wanted to know how to invest, and I'm telling him about smart contracts and 993s. But thanks for watching the channel, man. I'm so thankful for you guys. It's just awesome to be able to build like a little community of like people that are like-minded, that are just into wanting to get free passive income, invest, cars, and just freaking get dialed in. Let's go. Thanks for watching the channel, guys. I'll see you on the next video.
Come on, spill the tea. Yeah. Ooh. Alright. Woo. This is light work. Come on, spill the tea. Yeah. Ooh. Alright. Woo. This is light work. Come on, spill the tea. Yeah. Ooh. Alright. Woo. This is light work. Come on, spill the tea. Yeah. Ooh. Alright. Woo. This is light work. Come on, spill the tea, yeah.
I'll tell you something. Do you know about it? Yeah, just it. So, do you know that last night we were going to That's where.
Ooh, alright. Woo, this is light work. Come on, spill the tea, yeah. Ooh, alright. Woo, this is light work.